One of the really cool things you can do with a microbit chip is to use a couple of chips to send radio messages. So your chip has a radio sender and a radio receiver antenna on it built into the chip. So if you're on the same frequency, a Geek Girl secret agent will be able to send a message to another Geek Girl secret agent. So for task 22, what we're going to do is we're going to program a pair of chips to send or receive messages of distress, I'm not okay, or of giving the all clear, I'm okay. So to do that, the first thing we need to do, and you'll notice you've got a radio section here in your menu. If I click on that, one of the first things you can do is set a radio group. So both chips will load with the same program. Both chips will have the same program loaded on them, and it'll set a particular channel. That could be any number. I could go 99 here, and it'll set that channel frequency to 99. And both chips are set to 99, so they're ready to send and receive on that channel. I'm going to need different inputs. So if I'm going to send a distress signal, maybe distress means I press button A, and all okay, I press button B. So I'll just duplicate that, and I'll have a press button A and a press button B. When I press that button, I want to send a signal. So I can go here, and you'll notice I can send a number, I can send a value, or I could send a string. So let's send a string. So on button A, we'll send that string, and we can send another one here. And this one could be okay, and this one could be not okay. And so it should send that, or that string if that button is sent. Now, if we go here and we play it, let's just refresh. I press button A, and you can see the little bounce there. If I press that one, well, nothing appears to be happening while pressing either of these. And you'll notice we don't have any received signal. So if we go down here and you look at more, you've got different options here, but here we go, on radio received. So on radio received string, then what we could do is we could put in over here, and we do the OK, which is like something like that. So let's test that out. And I got the two chips. So if I press string A, it should send the OK string, and there we go. We can see I pressed the second microchip here, and it sent out that tick. Now, it's always going to do that, won't it? Well, what if I press B? Okay, I've got to clear the chip first, run it. So if I press B, I've got to sync them to, there we go. So that one's sent here, but I pressed B, but it sent a tick as well. I need some kind of branching logic, don't I? So if it's a button A pressed, then it's going to do OK, and if the other one, then it's going to do not OK. So I need some kind of if. So I'm going to put the logic in here, and it says if true, but it's really if that string sent is okay. Well, how do I do that? Okay, well, on the logic, it's got a comparison there. So if that's singing that string, if that's equal to okay, well, how do I know what it's sending? I actually need a variable, don't I? So instead of just stringing that okay, I'm going to go and create a variable. And I'm going to create a variable called coded message. Okay, so when I press A, it sets coded message to something. And when I press button B, it sets coded message to something else. And then it'll send, instead of sending that string, what it'll send is the variable. It'll send whatever that coded message is. I'll just duplicate that. So if I go down to text here and I put in a string, and I'll just duplicate that, what I can do is I can set the coded message to A, and here I can set the coded message to B. Okay, so message A, it'll send that A signal. Here, if I press B, it'll send a coded message B, and it'll send that coded message. Now, the aliens won't know whether A is the okay and B is the not okay signal. So now what I can say is if, and I go to the variables, where's my variable? If the coded message is equal to, and then I'll just get a string. If it's equal to A, then it'll show the all clear. Oops. And then else if, and I'll just copy that. And otherwise, if it's showing B, then I'll just duplicate that one. Then instead of showing all okay, whoops, I'm not very good at this, it'll show an all's wrong. Okay, does that kind of make sense? If you think about it, on the start, it sets the radio group to 99, so you're using the same channel. If you press button A, it'll set coded message to A, and it'll send that string A. If you press button B, it'll set the coded message to B, and it'll send that string message B. Then, on the received, when it receives that string, if the coded message is A, then it'll show a tick. Otherwise, if it's B, it'll show a cross. Let's see if that works. So I'm just going to refresh it, and I press A just to set up the 2. I press my A, it's sending a signal. I think I have to use this one. And I pressed A, and it's given a tick. So let's clear it, and I'll press B now. Set that up. Whoops. Takes a little bit of setting up. I press B, and you'll notice it's shown the cross for B. So the program appears to work. Take a screenshot of what you've done and upload that screenshot.